Good morning, grade 12s. Today we are starting chapter 10. This will be the focus for this whole week. We are just looking at the first lesson today, which consists of all the key concepts. The topic in chapter 10 is management and leadership. Now, obviously, the quality of management and leadership in a business has a significant impact on the success or failure of the business. All responsibility and everything stops at the top. All right, so if your management at the top is not what it is supposed to be, then obviously the business cannot be as big of a success as what it could have been with better management. So it is up to the managers and the leaders in the business to lead the people in the organization to make sure that the business will be successful. Effective management and leaders create career opportunities for employees. As I said, managers and leaders must lead. They lead by example. They create the environment for other people to be successful within the business environment. So what it means to say they create career opportunities is they have to mentor the people, the employees of the business, to make sure that there is opportunities for those people for development. Everybody wants to develop in their career. They motivate and inspire the employees to achieve the business's objectives. If your managers and leaders can motivate employees to do their best and to go the extra mile, then obviously they will do more than what is required of them. And if they do their job well, the business will reach their objectives and the business will be successful. But if managers and leaders are unable to motivate and inspire employees, and employees becomes demotivated and they don't want to do their job and they hate their job, there's no reason for them to go the extra mile, to put in the extra effort, and then obviously the business is probably going to fail. If we then look at the different definitions with regard to management and leadership, leadership, first of all, is the ability of an individual to influence and guide followers or other members of the organization. So leadership means that you as a person have the ability to influence other people, to motivate them to do what you want them to do. Okay, you provide guidance to them as to how they are supposed to be performing their duties. Management. Now in grade 8, many years ago, we discussed the functions of management. Remember, management is all about planning, organizing, leading, and controlling employees to achieve their goals. The overall planning of how tasks are going to be performed, that is responsibility of management. The organizing of the resources so that these plans can be implemented is the responsibility of management. Leading employees, leading by example, showing them, explaining to them what it is that they have to do, that is responsibility of management. And ultimately controlling that all employees did as they were supposed to so that we can reach our goals, that is the task of management. 4 management tasks: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. We are also going to look at different leadership styles in this chapter. That will be the last lesson. When we talk about a democratic leadership style, it means that the leader invites the team members to contribute ideas and to participate in the decision-making process. So when you have a democratic leadership style, it is not a case of the leader makes all the decisions and he just tells others what to do. Democratic leadership means that everybody has input. The employees will have input and they will have a say in what is ultimately decided. Autocratic leadership style is exactly the opposite of a democratic leadership style. This is where the leader makes decisions on his own without consulting his staff. So the opinions and the input of employees is not asked for, and the leader simply makes decisions based on his own experience and what he feels is necessary to be done. The laissez-faire or the free rein leadership style is where leaders delegate tasks to the followers with very little or even no direction given. Okay, laissez-faire is like, I don't know, a French word or something. It basically means like to let go. All right. So the leader, in other words, is not controlling everything that the employees are doing. He delegates tasks. He says, okay, this X, Y, and Z is what needs to happen. And then he doesn't give much direction. So the employees are left to decide how they would like to complete their task. Everything is not dictated to them. Nothing is dictated to them. The task is given, and then it is up to the employees to decide how they want to do those tasks and who does what. A charismatic leadership style. Okay, somebody that is charismatic is somebody that is charming. All right, so the leader uses his charm to influence followers, and basically employees do what the leader wants them to do because they like him. Yeah, they find him charming and they want to please him. All right, so the leader is kind of a nice person that charms the employees into doing what he wants them to do. A little bit manipulative. The transactional leadership style is where the leader will focus on motivating his followers through a system of reward and punishment. All right. So transactional leadership style basically tells employees what is expected of them. Those employees that do what they are expected to do will receive a reward, and those employees that don't comply, they will receive a punishment. All right. This is very much like in school. Okay, in school, basically, we are using a transactional leadership style. All right, I tell you what I expect you to do, and then if you do what you are expected to do, you receive a reward, merits. If you don't, you receive punishment, demerits. Your parents receive SMSs. Okay, which is what's going to happen from this week on. A bureaucratic leadership, okay, is where leaders make sure that employees follow rules and policies. All right. In other words, a bureaucracy, in general, bureaucracy means the following of rules and procedures. Okay, in government, for example, a big problem with government is bureaucracy. All right, bureaucracy basically means that there's rules and procedures that has to be followed before anything can be done. All right, so when you are a bureaucratic leader, you almost care more about the rules and the policies than what you do about the task that actually has to be completed. All right, so as a leader, bureaucratic leader, you will tell your employees the task. Okay, you're going to give them the task, you're going to give them the deadline, and then you're going to make absolutely sure in the completion of this task that all employees follow the rules and that they're implementing the correct policies. All right, so for this leader, it's very important that we stick to the rules. We don't bend the rules. We obey every single policy that is there in order to come now and reach our objective. Okay, we're also at the end of this chapter going to look at the different theories of leadership. One of those theories is the leaders and followers theory. This one focuses on the relationships between leaders and followers. So what is the relationship between those that are leading and those that are following? The leaders will be the managers in the business. The followers will be the subordinates, the employees. The situational leadership theory. This theory is that leadership needs to change from time to time depending on the situation that the business is finding itself in. All right, so basically the leader or the manager will apply different leadership styles depending on the situation and the maturity level of the employees. So basically, in a crisis situation, for example, you would apply autocratic leadership, but in a different situation, you will switch over to a more democratic leadership style. The situational leadership theory is based on the theory that different leadership styles is needed in different situations. Sometimes an autocratic leader is the right thing to do, but in a different situation, it might not be called for. Then they might use a different leadership style. So leaders will change their leadership style according to the situation they find themselves in. The transformational leadership theory, this is where the leader identifies the change that is needed, and then he creates a vision to guide this change through inspiration. So as a leader or as a manager, they will identify aspects of the business where change is needed, and they will come up with a vision as to where do we want to be in 6 months' time. This X, Y, and Z is what we want to change. In 6 months' time, this is where we want our business to be, and then they guide the employees through this change by inspiring them and motivating them to change so that that vision can be reached. Your personal attitude is the manner in which the leader relates to his or her employees, and this will very much determine the success or failure of the business. And very much your personal attitude will determine your success or failure. All right. Your personal attitude, obviously for us, we're going to adapt it to the business. So the personal attitude of the business, the personal attitude of the employees will ultimately determine whether the business will be successful or if the business will fail. Obviously, a positive attitude is required here. All right. But you can apply this also in your own life. Your personal attitude to your work is obviously going to determine your success or failure at the end of the year. All right, so this is the ideal time, if you have not been working up to this point, to change your personal attitude, to take responsibility for your actions, to take responsibility for your future. Your personal attitude determines your success or failure.